YouTube, Nicholas Daniel.
And Andrew Mooney here.
And we're going to discuss the market on the week of February 18th. And what are you seeing right now for the big picture on the S&P 500?
Right now, let's see. So we got a 5-year weekly chart up right now. Obviously, you have your post-COVID boom. That's going to be a given for any stock of any price. And then we see a little bit of pullback here, some shorting because people are getting a little bit nervous, presumably because of interest rates hiking and inflation. But overall, it swung back up. There was an overall growth over the past couple of months, especially. So it's overall on an upward trend.
Yeah, I'd like to point out, like you see here back, quite sure this is October 2022, and I remember I was trading this. I had some put contracts on the market. I was thinking, we got horrific CPI data right there. Market's going to go down, but oddly enough, it kind of rebounded, and what you saw there is investors really called this is the peak of inflation, and this is where the Fed's going to end their interest rates. And what you kind of have since October 2022 is the market pricing in the Fed's lowering it. Obviously, you have upgrowth here, you have nervousness, and here you kind of have this NVIDIA-led bull run, which is investors saying, market's healthy, we're going to go after it, we're getting our money in there. So, frankly, I've got a hot take on this for the audience. I think if we do see Powell give a speech and say, no more interest rates, we're actually going to start reducing it, you're not going to have that hyperbolic growth that people are predicting. Now, do you have any particular stocks which are interesting to you right now?
Yeah, I like to look at gold and NVIDIA.
All right, let's start with NVIDIA.
Okay.
I'll get, say, would you like a weekly or what sort of chart would you want to?
Oh, this is fine. This is perfect. Yeah, so NVIDIA has been extremely progressive over these past couple of years, as you can see. So with past couple of months, it has boomed from approximately $100 to $726 within the span of, 6 months? And I was actually playing NVIDIA a few
this
weeks
was
ago.
2022.
That's 2022. Oh, yeah, my mistake.
So it's been a year, yeah.
Right, so it's been even longer than that. But
no, these 6 months,
despite that is such volatility, right? So you can see I was playing NVIDIA 2 weeks ago, and I bought in at around $615, and the next week it jumped over $115. So it is extremely bullish. There's no doubt in saying that. It is just on an upward trend. It will probably continue to be on an upward trend, but I'm worried that we could see some pullback pretty soon here because it's going to cap out eventually.
So you're referring to here around kind of late 2021 when NVIDIA, if you look, it had similar conditions, right? You had post-COVID bull run. It was trading around $49. It jumps all the way to $328, right? But gravity's got to impact a stock. You've got to have investors thinking, when do we take profit? So you see this, and you're comparing the price action of 2022 to what could potentially occur right now. Nice. Can I ask one more question? Do you think that this is the height of NVIDIA, or you think pull back and we get ready for bull run number? Who even knows now? This thing's unstoppable.
I think we're going to start capping out, honestly. It's been too much on an upward trend, and hedge funders are going to notice that anytime pretty soon here. I think they're going to start shorting it pretty soon. I actually read an article a while ago talking about NVIDIA's options and how they had some kind of change regarding the bull to bearish rate. The split is usually shared, 53-47 between bullish and bearish tendencies.
Ratio.
Yeah, their put-call ratios. And they said that their options had a huge disparity in their put-to-call ratio. And that alone is probably going to be, I'd say it's going to regress pretty soon here.
You know, I'm going to call it. I agree we could go short term, but I think if you mess with the bull, you get hit by the horns. I say if you see NVIDIA pull back, if you're an investor, you should go all in. Now let's discuss let's discuss the Spider Gold. I'll give the audience an introduction, right? I mean, gold, this is your classic hard currency. And I mean, when people think the world's going to collapse, you had gold jump from 120 all the way to 190. That was an impressive run. I mean, COVID scared people. And you had a lot of people saying with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, gold's going to shoot up, right? They're going to say people are scared. But that's been the opposite. Since your post-COVID bull run, it's been flat. What do you have to say about gold? Kind of looking at the weeklies, man.
Yeah, just looking at it, it's a very volatile stock. I mean, it's going to be something that you are not going to. Honestly, it's kind of hard to call. I don't know if I would want to long this for a long-term investment, right? It's extremely volatile, and I think it's going to continue to be that way. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I'm not on team gold and silver, man.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people, especially younger investors, saying this is all a scam. I'm gonna get into hard currencies, but if you look at the numbers, it's nothing to prove it. Who's to say we won't get hit by a meteorite? But I mean, if you're investing in Spider Gold, the only time that will grow hyperbolically is when the whole world you're trading with cows and stuff. I mean, the world's over. One stock I'd like to talk about, which is getting a lot of attention, I'm going to pull up a daily chart on it, is Palantir. I think Alex Karp is a genius, first and foremost. You may not like him, regardless of your political opinions, but this guy is a renegade. He's really understands how AI is going to impact things, and he knows government money prints big, right? Yeah, this guy knows that not only is AI the future, but corporate welfare is the future. Yeah. And if you get in with that military-industrial complex, there's no stopping you. So you can kind of see it in Palantir, forgive me, it started jumping up really big. It's proving good earnings, and last week it proved once again that this thing has potential. I don't know. What do you think? Next, NVIDIA?
You played Palantir, right? And how would you say it played when you were putting in?
Easy, free money.
Yeah, free money. So you think it's a money machine as it stands right now?
I would say it's a money machine, but I would not go all in. I would still say there's still pullbacks to be had, but long-term growth, we've seen what AI can do. We know what corporate welfare can do. I mean, we know Musk is a genius, but let's be honest, that green money from the government really propelled Tesla's growth. I think it has a lot of potential. I wouldn't go on with your portfolio, but
this
got big.
This is 100% a stock you are going to want to watch, and you're going to keep eagle eyes on it because it is something that can have extreme potential for growth. It's an up-and-coming technological stock. It's probably not going to pull back anytime soon, but you got to still watch out for any kind of shorting. But honestly, overall trend, it is a solid stock to look at, and I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, unless we find out some very bad news about the company. When the shorters come in, I would just take the opposite of their position. I'd buy. Long term, these people are going to get squeezed. I mean, you do not get this level of volume right here unless people are shorting. Like, you look right here before earnings, everybody's saying, man, this isn't going to make it. We're going to short it. And some big players,
next thing you know,
calling out Wall Street bets here, some big players had put contracts.
That's a big green candle, isn't it?
Yeah, and they got hammered. Now, I will point out one more thing before we talk about short term, and we're going to talk about the rut here. So I'm going to pull up the weeklies, and this is your small caps, and I'm just going to go right ahead. I don't really use the rut to indicate a lot for the market. Obviously, post-COVID, you have small caps running up well over 100%. And I mean, of course, low interest rate environment, people can get in. But I mean, it's been relatively flat. I would say rut indicates that we still have growth to happen. But I would not be looking at small caps to make you a fortune right now. I would still trust the big boys. Now, one thing I would love to talk about is, we know the big trends, but let's be honest, when you're trading, you're looking at smaller pictures. Let's go to the daily, and I'd like to talk about the S&P 500 here. I mean, really strong. You've seen growth since 23. It's growing. 24. I mean, 24 has been ridiculous. We're starting to see some shakeout. Do you think this is significant right here? You see it drops big, it climbs back up, or you think?
2024, talk about a strong start. I mean, SPX is absolutely bowling off the start of the year, right out the gate. I think that's kind of indicative that we're going to see an overall growth year for something like SPX. Even though it's shaky, I still think that it's worth playing. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, as an options writer, I'm looking here and I'm thinking, really strong. You've seen growth since 23. It's growing. 24. I mean, 24 has been ridiculous. We're starting to see some shakeout. Do you think this is significant right here? You see it drops big, it climbs back up, or you think?
I think that's kind of indicative that we're going to see an overall growth year for something like SPX. Even though it's shaky, I still think that it's worth playing. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, as an options writer, I'm looking here and I'm thinking, I don't know. Obviously, the S&P 500 has shown it
Oh,
will
yeah.
pull back from time to time. Its growth. I don't know. I would personally be looking at this level, right? If this level proves to be a top, and you get a topish indicator, obviously you can look here. You get that gap down.
Some resistance and
I would sell calls, man. I would literally load up my position with short calls. I'd sell probably, for instance, if I was here, I would sell like 3 months out, and I would take profit at 50%. I mean, it seems like an easy play, but if this proves to just be another area where we consolidate,
yeah.
I'd sell puts, and that's how I see kind of if you're playing a month-to-month basis. If this proves to be consolidation, load up on short puts. If you see any indication it's topish, load up on short calls.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally would go for a condor here, thinking we could hit a consolidation. But if you do set up a condor, be prepared to close one leg. Now we're going to go to kind of short term here. We're going to go to the hourlies. Hourly is just not enough. Let's go to the 3 hours. Now, tell me, what are you kind of seeing short term here? Short term plays for the S&P 500.
Right. I'm seeing some short-term growth. That's what I'm seeing. If you're looking for someone to be a swing trader, in terms of you're looking for quick ins and quick outs, honestly, XPX is not going to be a bad choice for you.
So calls all the way, you're saying hammer calls?
I'm going to say calls all the way. Expect a little bit of shorting. I think that's going to be an expected thing, especially this week. But I say we're overlooking a pretty bullish, if not net negative week. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I'm going to pull up a fib retracement real quick, if I can remember how to do that.
One Tasty Trade. It's a little bit different, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've used Tasty Trade, but man, we've got, forgive me for this. Apparently we won't, but if you do get a fib retracement, I would rock a fib retracement here. Look for important lines. I'd rock a macro fib retracement to see if if the overall trend changes. But forgive me, next week we will have things worked out. I just switched over. Tasty Trade, by the way, not sponsored, not endorsed.
Yeah.
Great product, works excellently. Not getting paid, but great for option sellers. But
Right.
We'll have a better technical analysis next week. But
and if you run a Fibonacci on this, you're going to see it strong. Right now, it's extremely strong. There's not much resistance right now as it stands over this past couple months.
I mean, it's breaking new highs every day.
Yeah.
And final conclusion, I'm going to talk about Tesla. I've made a lot of money in the past with Tesla. I've lost a lot of money in the past. What do you think? You think this is 180 bounce? We're pushing back up to the 260s range, or what are you seeing with Tesla?
I don't touch Tesla with a 10-foot pole.
You don't touch
If
Tesla?
I'm going to keep it $150 with you or 199 with you, I do not touch it with a 10-foot pole. I mean, you're a good Tesla player, but what I'm seeing is volatility because that is Tesla, right? That is the entire premise of it. Dude, you're going to have to give your 2 cents on this.
Yeah, I actually love Tesla because this guy likes trends and playing it smart. I'm an in and out quick 30-minute player, and I mean, to be honest, Tesla's one of those. It really trades. If you have a conclusion that it's a top or a bottom, I'd buy in. And frankly, I think we have a bottom here at 180. I think we're going to make a push. And you know what? I'm not even saying selling puts. I would rock calls here, frankly.
Yeah.
I would rock calls. I'd rock some maybe 215s if you're ambitious. Obviously, 200s would be the safe play.
Yeah.
And if you're going for the home run win, if you buy some 230s, man, a couple months out, and you hit that jackpot lottery, I think you got a 100-bagger.
Oh,
right
100%. I mean, right here, all these resistance lines just show this is call material, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be call material because you're not looking at much. Not much resistance, right? It's mainly support.
Yeah, I mean, we do see support. Obviously, it breaks through. We see support
course.
once again, kind of 170, 165 range.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, we could definitely see a pullback test to 180.
Yeah.
But I'm going to call it early. I think we have a bottom.
I'd like to look at a daily of Tesla if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, I'll pull it up.
What do you make of that?
Uh,
A little more microscopic scale.
honestly, yeah, let's just, I'd say wait to see if it retests this 180.
Mm-hmm.
If it retests this 180 and holds, I would go for some strong positions,
Yep.
200s, 220 calls, put your money where your mouth is, and go for the big win.
Sure.
But if it breaks through 180, you're going to have to rock some puts, and we might
Yeah.
be waiting for another bottom. Well,
Yeah, might be tricky.
that's pretty much everything I've noticed in the market.
I think so. Yeah, that's all that's caught my eye.
Remember, folks, trade good, trade brave, and always trust your stop loss. It's better to take
That's
a
right.
small loss than a big loss.
Yep. Even if the market makers decide that your stop or the market price is below your stop loss, file that stop loss order.
Yeah, do not go for it. Well, folks, I enjoyed the video, and I really hope you guys win big this week. Enjoyed it.